The afternoon sun spilled through the windows of Marlene's diner, that small-town cafe everyone went to when they wanted coffee, pie, or a bit of gossip. The bell above the door jingled every few minutes, but that day it would ring for something no one would ever forget. At a corner booth, a group of loud teenagers laughed, tossing fries at each other and talking far too loudly. They were regulars, not because they loved the food, but because it was the only place in town that tolerated their noise. Sitting alone 2 tables away was Emily, a quiet 15-year-old girl who had come in after school to wait for her mother. Her mom worked the late shift at the factory, and every Thursday, Emily would do her homework there until her mother came to pick her up. Emily had that shy kind of beauty, soft blonde hair, bright green eyes, and a timid smile she tried to hide behind her sketchbook. She dreamed of becoming an artist someday, but to the bullies she was just the weird girl who always draws. "Hey, Picasso!" one of them sneered, standing up and snatching her sketchbook off the table. "What are you drawing today? Us?" The others laughed, loud enough for the entire diner to hear. Emily reached out to grab her sketchbook, but the boy lifted it higher. "Oh, come on, don't be shy," he mocked. "Let's see what you're hiding." When he opened it, the laughter stopped. Not because the drawings were bad, but because they were beautiful. She had sketched portraits of people in the diner, including them. Each face was detailed, full of life and expression. But instead of being impressed, the boy crumpled one of the pages and smirked. "Well, looks like someone has too much free time. Maybe you should try drawing friends instead." The group burst into laughter again. One of the girls grabbed Emily's bag and dumped it on the floor. Pencils rolled under tables, notebooks scattered. Emily's face burned red as tears welled in her eyes. The entire diner went silent. Everyone saw it, but no one moved. At that moment, the bell above the door jingled again. 4 men walked in, each wearing black leather jackets with the same patch, a winged skull surrounded by flames. The logo read, "Iron Saints Motorcycle Club." They were big, intimidating, the kind of men whose boots echoed with authority. The teenagers froze. The leader, a tall man with a graying beard and piercing blue eyes, looked around. His gaze landed on Emily, kneeling on the floor, picking up her pencils with trembling hands. Then his eyes shifted to the teenagers, one still holding the crumpled page. He took a slow step forward. "Something funny going on here?" His voice was deep, calm, the kind of calm that makes your stomach drop. The boy hesitated, trying to act tough. "It's none of your business, old man." The biker smiled, but it wasn't friendly. "See, that's where you're wrong. When someone's being humiliated, it becomes everyone's business." The diner fell completely silent. You could hear the hum of the refrigerator behind the counter. The other bikers stood beside him, crossing their arms. One of them, a woman with a braid and tattoos on her forearms, knelt down to help Emily gather her things. "You okay, sweetheart?" she asked softly. Emily nodded, wiping her tears. They just wanted to see my drawings," the woman smiled. "I bet they're amazing." She gently took one of the torn sketches, straightened it, and handed it to the leader. He looked at it for a long moment, a sketch of the diner itself, full of light and warmth. "You've got real talent, kid," he said. Then he looked at the bullies. "You kids should be ashamed. This young lady's got more heart than any of you." The bullies shifted uncomfortably. One of them muttered, "We were just joking." "Does she look like she's laughing?" the leader said, his tone sharp. No one answered. Then, to everyone's surprise, he pulled out his wallet and handed Emily a card. "Our Club S organizing a charity ride next week to raise money for the town S Art School. We'd be honored if you painted something for it, something that represents this town." Emily's eyes widened. "Me? Really?" He nodded. "Yeah, we could use some real art on our posters instead of the junk we make." The entire diner watched as the bikers stood protectively around the girl. The bullies quietly gathered their things and slipped out, heads down, without saying another word. As they left, the leader looked back at Emily. "And kid, don't ever let anyone make you feel small for having talent. The world needs more artists, not more cowards." That night, Emily went home and told her mother everything. She didn't just tell her about the bullies. She told her about the bikers, about how they stood up for her when no one else did. Over the next few days, she worked on a painting for the Iron Saints. It was a massive piece showing a group of bikers riding into the sunset, protecting a little girl walking down the road. She poured every ounce of emotion into it: fear, courage, gratitude. When the charity event finally came, hundreds of people showed up. The bikers had hung Emily's painting on the stage, and when the crowd saw it, they applauded. The leader of the Iron Saints called her up in front of everyone. "This," he said, pointing at the painting, "was made by someone who refused to stay quiet. And that's the kind of strength we ride for." Emily couldn't stop smiling. For the first time, she didn't feel invisible. The bullies who once mocked her were there too. Their parents had dragged them to the event. They watched as Emily received a scholarship from the town's mayor for her incredible artwork. After the ceremony, the biker leader bent down to speak with her again. "You did good, kid. Keep painting. And remember, if anyone ever messes with you again—" He winked and tapped the club's patch on his jacket. "You've got family now." Tears filled Emily's eyes. "Thank you for standing up for me." He smiled. "Nah, you stood up for yourself. We just made sure the world saw it." From that day on, Emily's sketches filled the diner walls. People came not just for the coffee, but to see her work. The same table where she once cried became her art corner, a place where she drew every afternoon. And sometimes, when the bell over the door jingled, she'd look up and see the familiar leather jackets of the Iron Saints, smiling, proud, and always watching out for their little artist. Because sometimes heroes don't wear capes. They wear leather and ride Harleys. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to hit like and subscribe. Because sometimes a simple act of courage can change someone's life forever. And who knows, maybe next time you'll be the one who doesn't stay silent.